Yes. So today we're going to be looking at what AI-ready manufacturers are fixing first in their ERPs. So getting AI ready without the full ERP replatform, because we know a lot of companies and businesses, they're now wanting to utilize AI because it's revolutionizing just almost everything in our daily life. And a lot of people are asking, do they need to replatform or is their current setup good enough? We're going to be discussing some quick fixes that you can do with your current ERP to get it ready for AI.
All right.
Okay. As I said, I'm Sean. I'm joined with Satish, the CEO of the Commerce Shop. We'll be leading
Hi,
you
everyone.
through the webinar today. Oh, sorry about that, Satish.
I'm just saying hi to everyone.
So
Yeah,
yep. And then today, what we're going to be covering, different topics.
yeah, just give me a minute.
Okay, so we're going to be first discussing why most ERP platform debates stall with AI adoption. And then we're going to look at what an AI-ready ERP actually looks like, the 5 traits that they have, the breakpoint patterns that we see across audits, and then the 6-layer fix sequence. And at the end, we'll give you a 90-day roadmap and how to measure it. So it can help you break it down, categorize everything, what you need, and give you a roadmap to get you there. Okay. So first, we're going to talk about the AI opportunity. The gains are real, and the path is where most of us get stuck. So why does implementation matter now for manufacturers? So a lot of times, the decisions in the past were based on, or we want decisions that are based on data, not instinct. So we must move away from inventory and demand decisions that rely strictly on that gut feeling, because maybe you know the industry, you know the trends, you're knee deep in it, you've been involved for years, so you kind of understand the ebbs and flows within your specific industry. But however, you need data to back it up because you can't rely on, how can I say it, what's happened in the past. AI, it's going to give you a broader view and look at other trends that you might not be aware of that could affect you and your business and your industry. So, for example, let's say a veteran planner orders 500 units based on a feeling about a busy season, but the data reveals a 20% decline in demand for that specific SKU. That could lead to 50K in dead stock. So, like I said, you want the data to back up your decisions, not just a gut feeling. And also, you want to improve the buyer and dealer experience. Currently, buyers struggle to find products, and the dealers are frustrated because they cannot get answers fast enough. So again, you got to think of, how is your data structured within your site? Is it obtainable? Are people going out of the way to search for it? Because remember, if people have to put in more effort now, AI is making it so we're used to typing a question, getting a quick answer. If we have to search, we're going to go somewhere that could provide us that answer faster. And what does that mean also? You want to make sure that there's operational resilience. So any unplanned downtime, it's currently disrupting production because there's no early warnings. So, when you're down, you're not making money. You're in, how can I say it, crisis control, trying to get everything back online. And any minute down, that's money out of your pocket. Also, AI can help with supply chain visibility. So we're often blindsided by supplier disruptions because no one sees them coming until the line stops. As we mentioned before, like if you have the data coming through, that previous business, for my example, would have known that there's been a demand, so they wouldn't have ordered as much stock. And also, you want to capture institutional knowledge. So critical operational knowledge is trapped in unread documents and or in the heads of employees. Also, there's velocity as a competitive edge. So quotes currently can take days to process, while competitors are delivering them in minutes. So here's some gaps where AI can step in and help. Okay, so here are some practical cases that manufacturers are prioritizing. So they definitely want to get the financial gains. So demand forecasting can cut inventory costs by 10 to 15%, while intelligent inventory optimization offers a 150 to a 250% ROI by preventing stockouts. So like the previous example, you don't want too much stock on your hands, or you don't want to sell out because, then it leads to back orders, headaches. People could be going someplace else to get that order completed faster, especially if you're out of stock. And then there's maintenance and sales. Predictive maintenance can reduce unplanned downtime by 70 to 90%, An AI-powered product discovery on your portal can lead to a 25% higher average order value. So then there are efficiencies. So the automated support handles routine queries without human touch, and AI search allows teams to find answers across all documentation in seconds. There's also risk and speed. So suppliers, they're doing risk analysis flag disruptions before they hit production, and smart quoting assistance provides accurate quotes in minutes. Okay, so now we get to the big question. So most teams are paralyzed asking, should we replatform our ERP to adopt AI? And then the top 10% strategy is the most successful 10% of manufacturers, they're skipping this debate entirely. So they're successfully adopting AI without the risk and cost of full replatforming. So really it's focusing in on your platform, see what areas you can fix easily and create that roadmap, then fix that, and you will be able to adapt the AI. But there's a reality check involved. So the average ERP platform, it takes 18 months and the majority run significantly over schedule. So if you were looking to replatform, that timeline is going to be a factor. It's not an overnight fix, and there can be delays or holdups that's unexpected. So there's also the stalled pilot. So think about it, if you're adapting AI and you're training it on inconsistent SKUs or data, after 6 months, you're going to have poor results. It's going to quietly die, and the board will lose all confidence in that AI. So remember, AI is like garbage in, garbage out. You want to make sure you're prepared for it before you start implementing it, because otherwise you're wasting time and money and you're not going to get the best, most effective results. And it's going to also lead to a deal churner. So the dealer sees stock available and orders, but gets back order in 2 days later. So after 5 repeats, they permanently switch to another supplier. So think about how your current ERP system is working. Is it updating in real time? Is there a delay? Does it update overnight? Certain amount of times per week? What does that look like? Because you don't want to set that false hope with your dealers where they see something is in stock, they order it in good faith, but your system hasn't updated to show that you're out of stock. So then 2 days later, they're getting hit with this notice. It's not a good experience. And if that happens enough times, they're going to go someplace else. So the core issue is the gap isn't a lack of AI ambition. It's a weak ERP foundation underneath it. And we're going to show you how to strengthen that foundation. Okay. So a lot of teams, they're answering the wrong questions. Should we replatform? So there's a common internal debate. Do you want to replace your ERP or just upgrade it? And then what vendors do you want to look at? Are you going to look at SAP, Oracle, NetSuite, or Microsoft? When do you want to do this? Do you want to wait till the next budget cycle? Do you want to implement it now? Wait till the next year? And then the question is can AI run in parallel to what you're doing, or does it need to wait? And then with teams too, who owns that rollout? Is it your IT department? Is it your ops department? So these are pivotal questions to ask and find those answers to within your business. So what does it mean with the real cost of winning? Your AI roadmap, it could stall out in 18 months if you wait too long, or you're giving it bad data. And as you're waiting, competitors can close that gap on the dealer experience. So if you're waiting, your competitors could be taking this advice, rolling this out in their system, and getting the advantage. So B2B e-commerce fixes, they're deferred year after year. And then if it's not done right, teams are going to lose trust in your AI projects. And then capital is wasted at that point. The debate itself is on the debate rather than fixing the system. So let's look at some back-end gaps and then some front-end losses. So as you can see here, there's stalled AI pilots. Like the AI, it can't reason, or it's on using inconsistent data. So when pilots are shelved, the investment's gone, while competitors who fixed first, they capture their share of the market. Or conversion drops. So wrong stop levels, as we said before, or wrong prices lead buyers to not returning. So in the B2B world, losing even one high value order is a meaningful revenue loss. This can also help in with dealer erosion. So when your self-service breaks, dealers will go elsewhere. So losing a dealer will mean losing a full year of orders. So for the math, the recovery cost significantly is significant more than the initial fix would have cost. So again, weigh your pros and cons, look at how look at the plan that you have to roll this out because as you wait, as you stall, if you're using poor data, your competitors are getting the advantage. So then we looked at some of the wrong questions. Let's look at the right questions. So should we replatform? Stop asking, should you replatform your ERP? And ask, what do we fix first to be AI ready? And the top 10% of sequences targeted fixes inside the ERP they already own. So now we're going to talk about define the framework for readiness, do a self-assessment, and see where specific gaps typically hide. Okay, so what an AI-ready ERP looks like, as we were saying, garbage in, garbage out. You want to make sure your master data is clean, it's normalized, and it's trusted across the business. And then there's integration. You want to make sure your ERP, your e-commerce, and your CRMs exchange data in real time, not overnight. Like we talked about the example before, you might have a buyer come in, place an order. 2 days later, they get a notification that it's out of stock and they have to wait. That is not a good experience. Then let's look at the workflow. So there's exception handling. Is it rule driven and automated where it could be? Also, when it's ready, you want to know about reporting. So leaders, you can see your metrics in real time without filing an IT ticket. So that AI, you just ask the question, can float up the answer. You don't have to send off an email, send off a ticket, wait for someone to pull the numbers, look it over. You have that knowledge at your fingertips. And it helps with visibility. You can get real-time views into your inventory, your pricing, the orders, and exposure to ops and dealers. So now we're going to ask a few questions. So I hope you have a pen and paper ready. I'll give you a couple seconds for that. Just simple yes or no. So for this, you're going to give yourself 1 point for each yes, and then we'll score it in a minute. So question one, remember yes or no. Can your team pull live inventory across all warehouses without filing an IT ticket? 2, does your storefront reflect the right pricing tier for each dealer in real time? 3, are 80% or more of orders exceptions resolved without human touch? Or sorry, order exceptions. 4, can leadership see a single order to cash dashboard today without IT support? And 5, is your product data clean enough to feed an AI pricing or forecasting model as is? Now let's go to the results. So if you have 0 to 1 yeses, there is a foundation gap. Major data and integration work need to be done before any AI use cases of return value. If you have 2 yeses, there's a partial readiness. So no breakpoints are holding you back. A 90-day fix sequence will unblock your AI. 3, you're at mid-readiness. You can pilot AI in narrow areas while remaining fixes are sequenced. 4, you're nearly AI ready. So one layer is still soft. It's usually over workflow or reporting. You fix it, then you move on. And then 5 is your AI ready. Focus shift to use case selection, scaling, and governance.
So Sean, what is your thought? What would be the score for most of them?
Oh, it depends. I feel like most manufacturers are going to hover around maybe 2 to 3 if they've really incorporated technology into their systems. What are your thoughts, Satish?
I feel it would be more in 0 to 2.
Okay.
Would be is what I think. Uh, Manufacturers are very slow to adapt to the technology, and some would do that. Many still have the same kind of systems, silo systems, all these things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it can be a pretty antiquated system. I know a lot of people, they're saying they're still getting orders by faxes and emails, and it blows my mind. So as we said, then there's some gaps to identify. So what we see in most of our audits is the SKU master inconsistency, where you're going to have duplicate SKUs, missing attributes, mismatch UOMs across the warehouse. Again, like we say, data cleanliness and structure is very important. There
Mhm.
could be pricing tier drift. So dealers and contract pricing maintained outside of the ERP and it's out of sync with the storefront. So as you know, like you might have certain discounts for different dealers depending on their purchasing volumes. And if you have to constantly go back to manuals or contracts, if it's not there and it's not in the system, it's not digitized, it's just another step. And it's another thing to delay you in that quoting process, like we mentioned earlier. And then there's also manual exception handling. So order edge cases routed through email chains, not rules. And then
Mhm.
inventory, as you were mentioning before, Satish, the siloing of data, the inventory visibility
Yeah.
logs, so stock figures in ERPs or e-commerce and the dealer portal, they disagree. And that gap can be by hours or days. But if it's off even by a couple minutes, when it's ordering could lead to that scenario we talked about before where you place an order and then 2 days later you get the notification, it's out of stock.
Mhm.
And as you said, knowledge trapped in silos. So that could be stuck in PDFs, SOPs, employee memory emails, stuff where the AI is not going to read it or know.
Mhm.
So now I'm going to hand it over to Satish, and he's going to talk about the fixes and give us that roadmap.
Thank you, Sean. Any questions so far? Would be happy to answer it. All right. I don't see any questions. I hope you are clear, Sean. All right. Just give me a minute. All right. So let's talk on the fixes in terms what to fix in what order. We'll talk about it. So if you're looking at fixes to make your ERP to be AI ready, the first thing that you need to focus on is the data fixes. Um, so earlier it used to be like there will be a lot of SKU duplications, attributes are not properly collected or not set for the products, and there are pricing tiers for each dealer or vendors to be maintained separately out in a spreadsheet, and there are partial product hierarchy, no single source of truth for the companies. So the first thing we have to do is we have to remove the duplicates, make it a single master database for SKUs, add the attributes. Now there are so many AI tools out there in the market that could do the product enrichment and create those kind of additional attributes to make it standardized. And you can move the pricing tiers to the ERP system so that the ERP will be the single source of truth. It will have all information and it will sync with your real-time storefront or the channels. It will be in real time. And even the hierarchy, product hierarchy, and everything would be maintained. Dealer master deal master, like the parent-child relationships, like who's the main dealer, who's the sub vendor, all these things you can maintain in ERP. So that is a data fix. We generally recommend to do that. Then it would be more on the integration fixes, like is your data from your ERP synced with your commerce or CRM system or your customer support tools? Is the data is visible everywhere? Is the order status available everywhere? So we need to analyze the integrations point, and if it's not connected properly, even your warehouse management system, it's not connected properly, we need to fix that. We need to deploy. There are so many tools now, tools like even open source tools like NA10 or Patchworks. There are tools that helps in these kind of integrations between two different systems. That is an important check we need to implement, because any changes that you make around like on the pricing or order status or inventory status should reflect in other systems on real time. That is the most important thing if you are looking to implement an AI on your ERP systems. So that is an easier one. Now, most of the integration platforms are capable of doing that, and we generally recommend to do it more real time, event driven rather than a batch job that syncs overnight or in a very longer format, a longer time. So that is another important fix we recommend. Uh, and also the next one is the workflow automation fixes. Specifically, like let's take about the order exceptions. Like generally, whenever there is an order exceptions or returns, it is right now done by email, create a case, and that's how things should be are right now ordered or done. But if you make it automated, like it would be a rule-based automations. Like if a user wants a refund or if the user is looking for exchange, it will be rule-based. It can be done in minutes rather than waiting. And also, let's take about freight charge calculation. Right now, it is done manually in many systems. It should be, if it is done manually, try to make it automated. I think some of them have made it automated, but it would be, if not done automations for freight charge calculations, we have to do that automated and code auto populations. Currently, it is everything with the salesperson right now around quotes. They are the one who build the quotations. They work on the pricing tiers, all these things. It is a time-consuming process which can be automated in a simple ERP system that you can add those pricing and immediately check the stocks status and respond with the new quotations. And the other important thing that people are right now we need to fix is the reporting dashboards. Currently, the dashboards that are shown are very static, or it is done in a more like an daily once it gets refreshed, or weekly once it get refreshed, or it will be in the spreadsheet data. So it is not going to help you in any way if you are looking to predict something like demand forecasting or something. It will not help. So, an AI-ready manufacturer should have a real-time dashboard, should have a knowledge accessibility, and it should be ready to predict. That is a kind of a real dashboard they need it. And these things are important in the AI-driven ARP era. So it will help in improving your faster decision making, better planning, and reduced operational waste. So report dashboards and reports should be made AI driven in real time. The other important factor is the visibility fixes. Specifically, the inventory sits across your ERP, storefront, or dealer portal, or your warehouse systems. It will not be in sync, so it should be visible across different platforms. And pricing changes, generally, people update the price in ERP. It should reflect across all the channels, not just ERP, and then manually update in storefront. It should reflect instantly across all the channels, specifically where the world is now changing, is not is a very not stable. The pricing, because of the oil price, everything changes instantly. We should also do that across your systems, so it should be in sync. Order status right now is manual lookup for the customer support team. Those things needs to be synced. Dealers and operators should work in the same live data rather than an outdated data. And there has to be a single view to see the stocks, pricing, and orders. So the visibility fixes about your uh, stock quantity should be easily accessible, and the pricing should be easily changed everywhere. That's what the new system should look like. And the last one is the knowledge accessibility. Often manufacturers they have a lot of information about the products in PDF, documents, spec documents, emails, and the disconnected systems. So those information, and sometimes it lives in the memory of the salesperson. So those things are critical for and manufacturers who want to take it AI ready. So they can launch a knowledge assistant for the dealers or suppliers, so that they can select what is the right product for the problem the of their customers. So there has to be a centralized documentation system which can be used as a knowledge system and can train the knowledge assistant. So knowledge accessibility is again an important thing, because if your dealer or the vendors are not able to identify what is the right product for their customers, they will obviously look for some other alternatives or other competitors. So try to have a better knowledge accessibility system across your organization, and again it helps your customer support and everything. And this is again some of the failure modes that we highly recommend not to do it. So without even having a proper pricing or any tier pricing on your ERP, people try to implement yeah, an AI-based pricing recommendations for each dealer without having proper structure and ERP about pricing. You try to implement the prediction. A is more like a prediction of the garbage in, garbage out. So the prediction will be better only if you have enough data or correct data on the ERP system. Otherwise, the AI recommendation for the price would be very much not correct. And similarly, if your AI chat assistant, specific Gen AI dealer chat, if it is going to talk to your dealer about the products that you have that are in stock and what is the right product for them, if you don't have the right product in sync with the Gen AI, it is going to uh, give an hallucinated response, like it says it is available, the product is available, but in reality, you might not be available. So dealers will lose trust on the bots and on your brand. So try to avoid that. Similarly, forecasting will not even work if you have a data not good, and there will not be a confident answers from the systems if you're looking for any forecasting thing. And similarly, replatforming, uh, as Sean was saying earlier, there is obvious question whenever somebody wants to do AI readiness or AI is implement an AI layer on their organization. The first thing, let's bring a new ERP so that it will be helpful in implementing the AI. So implementing a new ERP will not solve or will not make your organization AI ready. You have to first identify what gaps you have, what could be the changes that you can do with the existing platform. Identify those things, and then you can make, if everything points out really bad, prediction data, validity, integrations, everything is not good, then you can think about replatforming. But in our situations, what we have faced with our clients, we have not seen a need for replatforming. With the simple fixes on your existing ERP system, you can make it AI ready. So, so without knowing what is broken or what is missing on your organization systems, don't try to replatform your ERP. Any questions? All right. So let's see what we have seen so far with our customers. So one of our customer who is with the industrial parts manufacturer, what we have seen is that they had a skew inconsistency. They had a lot of their AI pilot projects are getting failed. So the client's revenue is around 80 million. And what we did was we first fixed their skew master cleanup, then fixed their integrations across different systems to real-time inventory sync. And we implemented the workflow, like rule-based workflow. And we started forecasting what would be the demand in another 3 months. So, based on the previous history of sale and the market conditions, the system is able to predict a better one. So, as a result, in 90 days, we could see an 25% reduction in order exceptions, faster turnaround, and we could make this uh, everything to be live in a very few weeks. So many AI pilot, I think one of the AI pilot, that is the demand forecasting, was live in shorter in 90 days time. Similarly, we did it for another vendor, F1 food and beverage distributor. Similarly, they had four warehouses. They have a lot of distributors and dealers. Many times they see that the dealer portal shows the product is available, but it is in their stock. It is not real time available. So as a result, they were selling more than what they have in the inventory, and when they are not able to fulfill, it becomes a negative impact on the brand, and it is again obviously they are going to find a new vendor, so it is also impacting their business. So we implemented that. We first fixed the data part, and then the event-driven inventory sync. We did it, and we automated the workflows. Um, so we could, as a result, because we could see a reduction in the oversells by 30%, and we could see an lift in self order, because earlier, since the system is not true, people don't believe that. The dealers used to call the sales rep and make sure that the item is available and then place the order. Now they are very confident about the system. They placed orders, and we were able to take this to all the four warehouses of the dealer. So yeah, we could see, and again, all these are just pilot implementations we did. The system is now AI ready. On top of this, they can build a lot of AI initiatives like real-time dashboard, real-time predictions, many use cases they can solve if the foundation system is ready. So if you are already looking to think about how you can do implement AI on your site, whether are you looking to whether your data is good, do these kind of quick wins, like see, take 20 row sample SKUs from your master database and see whether those 200 SKUs are having any duplicates. If they have it, fix that. Otherwise, they don't have any duplicates, then you're good. And then take what are the three order exceptions that is taking long time to solve by your operations team. Similarly, see top 20 SKUs, whether they have the pricing information, stock, attributes, everything available across all the systems, then they are in sync. And map the integration latency, like see between two systems, how long it takes to reflect. Is it in minutes, or it takes overnight to fix those things? Understand that. Uh, Also identify what is the biggest pain point that you want to solve with your AI. We always recommend don't do AI for the sake of AI. See whether the AI can solve a problem that you currently have, which cannot be done with any other process. Think about using AI. Otherwise, don't use AI for the sake of AI. It will be a disaster. So try to follow these steps to see where do you stand, and uh, see analyze your site or analyze your systems on the five right that we talked about, like data, visibility, reporting, integrations, and workflows. On those five traits, analyze your site and share with your peers. So let's talk about a roadmap. I am not seeing any questions, which is all right. Let me know if you guys have any questions, but yeah, I'll continue. So some of the uh, roadmap that we generally recommend is, in the first 15 days, you can easily take your system, analyze on these five characters like data, integration, workflow, reporting, and visibility. Score what is important for you, what are the problems you're trying to solve, and then you create an prioritization. What element, if you fix, that will have a significant impact, work on that. Similarly, work with the client's operation team or e-commerce. Understand what are the problems they have which AI can solve, so that you can create an hypothesis and you can try to solve those things with AI once the foundation models are identified and fixed. The second one is the foundation fixes. So once as soon as you are identified what are the problems you have, you can work on these foundations like SKU master cleanup, pricing tiers, implementation on your ERP, integration of your ERP, e-commerce, and CRM system, schema markups, whether what is the relevant product for each product, and governance. Most important thing, many of them miss out is who should own the data and what data everybody should be given access. So those kind of things you should implement properly on your system so that in future if AI systems also wants to access some bank details of your customers, those things can be restricted. So the third phase would be like the workflow and AI layer. So once you identify what are the top exceptions on your system that is creating these kind of issues, you can create those exception workflows and rule-based routing. Also, most use cases people love to have with AI to be solved is the forecasting and quotation auto population or quotation assist. These things generally users want to solve, identify those things, and also measurement infrastructure. We call if we implement all these changes, what would be the measuring criteria to measure that our AI implementation is successful? You should have a measuring criteria. And the other one is the dealer and B2B storefront issue fixes and integrations. So the next you can give this input to your stakeholders, CEOs, and the leadership team about what kind of foundation and workflow you have set across the systems. So once you have the system and the workflow being set, you can start doing some kind of a pilot projects like small forecasting or some small prediction or some kind of a small uh, pricing calculation for each product for each vendor, something around that. You can do a pilot projects in the the last part of the 90 days and see if that is working out well. In case if it is working out well, you are good to scale. uh, you can build more systems and you can scale a lot many uh, new use cases. So this is how one of the ERP, AIP ready ERP maturity model. So if you have a siloed data, spreadsheet data, manual reporting data, try to connect all the systems, standardize the workflow, create a centralized visibility. And once you have that, you can then go to the AI ready enterprise applications that are for used for predictive intelligence, AI copilots, automated decisions for customer support, intelligent operations, all these things we can do. So, what you can measure? Metrics that already live in your systems. Uh, yeah, basically, if you look at when you're trying to implement these kind of AI readiness, you should have a goal in mind. What is the goal I'm trying to achieve, or what is the problem I'm trying to solve, and measure that. For some users, what we have seen is they want to reduce the order exceptions queue volume, so that you can see how many weekly count of unresolved orders that is coming to the support team, or the time to quotations, how soon you can submit a quote, or inventory accuracy, how easy for a customer supporter to see an inventory or a dealer portal to see the inventory, and the dealer chargebacks. If the products are not shipped on time, they do chargeback. How many chargebacks are happening? And the AI use case accuracy, like the forecast and recommendation, iterate with compared with the actual, or model output with actual. So you can have these kind of a lot many measuring criteria. Start with the problem and see what you need to see and what is the measuring criteria for that. So this is again a tracking routine. If you look around, it is again an every week you can see what are the exceptions in orders count, scan the top SKUs, look around the breakpoints that are surfaced, or you can, on every 30 day, monthly, you can review for 30 minutes around the fixes and the 5 straight scorecard and update the leadership on time. You can also do a quarterly audit, see how things are working out and what is the outcome the business wanted, is it being returned to them. So yeah, I think it's an easier 3-step process that you can use to track and measure. And this is again, as I said earlier, solve these problems on your data, and you'd be good to create some kind of pilot-based AI projects, and then you can also roll out completely AI. So again, just want to reiterate those things like the fixing layer should be on the data, integrations, workflow, reporting, visibility, and knowledge accessibility. And our key takeaways should be like, as we said earlier, manufacturers are not going to be replaced by another AI or something. Companies or manufacturers who are using AI effectively are going to replace the competitors, for which to make them AI ready, they should have a proper data, and it should be integrated across systems, and there has to be a clear visibility, and knowledge should be across the entire system, cannot stay with very few peoples. So that's how you scale the organization. Any questions? Uh, any questions so far? All right. So people who are attended this event, let me see, is there any questions? All right. So people who have attended this webinar, we are giving a free audit for you guys. So it is an 30-minute call that you can, let me put the link in the chat. So, sorry. This is the link that we are offering you guys. So whoever has attended this webinar, we will provide you a free audit on your ERP system. We'll do that 5-dimension scorecard, see how your systems are behaving or how your data is right now integrated, and the workflow, everything. We'll look into it and give a clear idea where you need to fix now. We'll give those recommendations. Generally, we need basic some question and answers to be answered, and some data points for access to few systems here and there. If not, at least if you provide it in Excel, we should be fine. So we can, using those things, we can prepare an audit report for you that is completely free. You can take an advantage of that audit report. It's a way that you can think how your organization scale in coming months. So take full advantage of that. Yeah, any other questions? Sean, you want to add anything?
No, I think you covered everything.
Mm-hmm. So I don't see any questions still. Okay, I hope we made it clear for you, or at least gave you an idea how your ERP should be evaluated for AI readiness. Uh, we'd be happy to connect with you and talk in detail about those things. But if not, you can also send us an email to hello@thecommerceshop.com. Uh, so if you have any questions, or you can reach me directly, my email address is satish@thecommerceshop.com. I have dropped the audit link along with the email address of uh, both of us to connect. So even after this call, if you have any questions, just shoot out an email We'd be happy to connect with you. I think if everything goes good, we are thanks for your time, and we'll try to connect with you in another webinar for a better content and better information on the AI. Thanks for your time, and have a great day, guys. Thank you.